Today's episode is brought to you by Munchie Mug, the world's #1 premium no-spill snack cup. Listen to today's episode for a special offer from Munchie Mug. Munchie Mug, making your life less messy. Hey everybody, welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian and the host of the aforementioned podcast. And alongside me on the due south wall of our state-of-the-art recording studio / our bedroom is my lovely wife, co-host, CFO, and overall great gal, Melissa Nickerson.
Hey there.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody, for hopping here in the back seat, you backseaters. And
Strap in.
Strap in.
Buckle up. That's better.
Turbulence ahead. To this little podcast that could hear. Really appreciate you guys. Got a lot of stuff to discuss today.
That's right.
We've got 2 weekend recaps. We realized last week we didn't really do a weekend recap of how shows and places and so on and so forth and various comings and goings and doings.
Ins and outs.
Ins and outs and...
doings and restings?
Doings and restings and doings and not doings and, whatever it may be. 2 of those. We have...
Fidgets and widgets.
Fidgets and widgets and...
Oh, stop.
You're sharper than me right now. I love it. We've got a trip to the vet to talk about. We're going to talk about some Christmassy stuff. Got the
December.
Nutcracker, Santa, maybe some Hallmark movies. We'll see where we get there. Newsletter, people that write newsletters. We got some stuff to talk to. We'll see where it goes. We'll just kind of. We always have like a loose agenda on these episodes, and then maybe at the end a couple emails. So we'll see. Before we do that, we've got some upcoming live comedy shows on sale. I mean, I do. They are on sale for both of us.
I will not be doing live stand-up comedy.
No, you will not. But you will be updating the bands in town for us.
That's
right. And the Facebook events. Did you change the design of this?
I did change that.
Yeah, it looks good.
It looks better.
It does look better.
I know. I don't like change.
You don't like change. No, but you did just compliment your own work here. Mel does a lot of the design and updating. I do a lot of the updating actual dates on the website.
Yeah, because you book them.
Because I book them and I get the link and then I just put it on sale, and to send to you to put on sale would be slow, and I don't like slow when it comes to dates. But you do a lot of the design and the layout, and sometime in history you'll update our pictures on there.
I know.
But it is great. And this does look good.
Inspiration has to hit.
Upcoming headlining dates. There are a few new ones in here, so listen up. January 6th and 7th, we're going to be in St. Louis at the Helium Comedy Club. January 27th, 28th, we're going to be in Syracuse at the Funny Bone there. February 8th, going to be at Comedy Works in Denver. Then we take a break. With the start of this next tour, really is going to kick off in May, and it's going to go through most likely August into September. Kind of never stop, let's be real. Really kicking in, but it starts on May 18th in Tulsa, Oklahoma. First time headlining in Tulsa.
All right.
At Bricktown Comedy Club. There's multiple Bricktown Comedy Clubs, and the one in Tulsa, I'm going to be at on May 18th, and then on May 21st, I'm going to be at the Bricktown Comedy Club in Oklahoma City. So there you go. And then we have May 26th and 27th, the Funny Bone in Des Moines, Iowa. June 16th and 17th, Mic Drop Comedy here in San Diego, California. Woo. And then finally, these are on sale. There's 2 new markets that I've never headlined. Well, at least I've never headlined, or haven't headlined recently. I've never headlined in Orlando on June 21st at the Improv, and then June 22nd in Tampa Bay at the Improv. So there you go. Lots more coming, folks. We're moving and shaking and trying to get people to book me and figuring out the dates and so on and so forth. It's a lot of work, but
it's great.
I like doing it. I like doing the work. So
it's coming together.
Anyways, go to DustinNickerson.com to check that out. Also, talk to me. Do we got a Patreon hang coming up in December, Melissa?
Yes, we do. 2 Sundays from now, we've got a Patreon Zoom hang.
That's the 18th, 12, 18?
We actually have an assignment.
Ooh, for the patrons?
Yes.
Listen up, patrons.
Patrons.
Have you posted it to Patreon too?
I have. Patrons are going to bring a photo of their senior yearbook pictures.
That's right. We're doing
senior pics.
Do you know where ours are? I think they're in that one box in the shed.
No, it's in Joel's closet.
Oh, what's this?
We were talking about those Olin Mills type
Yun
picture.
Louis is the Seattle brand.
The in-store photos, that used to be in the mall and chains and stuff.
Right.
And so we were discussing that on Patreon on our Zoom hang in November, and then we were like, okay, let's do it. So that's going to be a treat. I hope everyone does their homework.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't forget this assignment. Don't go lazy on us, everybody.
Yeah. And if you're driving to your, friends or families for Thanksgiving or, Christmas, you better pull over and join our Zoom hang.
Absolutely.
With your senior photo.
Absolutely. You're not driving on the 18th. Christmas isn't until the next week.
You're right. It's weird because Christmas is over the weekend.
Right.
And like, for example, our son has the week before Christmas off, and then our daughters have the week in January off. This is very confusing where schools and holidays
it creates
fall.
a real challenge, which is what do we do with a high school male who has nothing to do?
He's going to sleep, and we're going to have
He's going to have wrestling practice in the morning, right?
Record a bunch of episodes.
Not really, Mel.
We got to get 2 in.
Yeah, that's not a bunch. It's
all
one more than normal.
All right, fine.
You're so dramatic.
You're dramatic.
No, I'm not dramatic. I'm
Joel's
the opposite of dramatic.
That's what he's going to do.
I know. I'm just saying you're so dramatic. Like, we have to record a bunch of episodes. No, we have to do one extra. One extra.
You know what Joel said this morning?
What did he say?
I set it up. His written driver's test is the first week of January.
Mm-hmm.
And he really wants to go driving with you.
Yeah.
In like a parking lot. But he doesn't have his permit yet. He could drive in an empty parking lot with you.
Right.
As is. So he asked again today, when is Dad going to take me? So.
That's sweet.
So that's what you're going to do.
What a contrast to have in our house that you have like one kid who wants to like drive in the car and like wants to like get his license and learn how to drive, and another kid who's like, where is my elf on the shelf?
Yeah, developmentally, like the teen years are just nuts because they get these like steps into adulthood and you're just like, oh my gosh, you used to, fall out of your bed at night.
Yes.
Like roll out of your bed.
I know. I think this is an interesting note about you is that, by the way, if you're not familiar with Patreon, it's just a way to give a little more and get a little more. Zoom hangs. You missed the window for the Christmas card. That's closed.
Yeah. The Christmas cards are on the press.
And merch discounts, meet and greets at shows, free cameos, all that kind of stuff. So you're an interesting cookie, Melissa Nickerson, in a lot of varieties. You run stressed. You run worried.
Yeah.
But what you love is like something that would relieve you of stress.
Is this the Munchie Mug ad?
No, this is not the Munchie Mug ad. That's later. I am surprised that you're not more worried about Joel driving. And it's because you're so eager to have him be able to drive. Because it saves you so much time and effort and stress. Whereas I'm like, oh my gosh, my son.
I've been thinking about it.
Because we live in a city. Like, we live in a big place with busy roads. Like, to go to Costco, you get on the freeway in the city. Like, it's not where we live. It's not on a farm.
It's not rural.
It's not rural at all. It's not even.
It's not suburbs.
It's not suburbs where we live.
It's like semi-urban.
Exactly. Yeah. We live near a college. If you guys know what college
we're in
areas
a college
are
area.
like. It's busy.
Yep.
There's busy streets. There's
I've been
main highways.
By 2 college kids.
Right.
In a series of years here. So I have been thinking a lot about Joel driving, actually.
Okay. You haven't been seeming too worried about it.
Well, I think I've been worried about filling out all the paperwork.
Right.
And acquiring all the documents.
Listen, if he is like you, which I think he is, he'll be a much safer driver than I am out of the gate because you're a very careful, safe driver.
Yeah.
And I hope that Joel is that. I was not. I got in a lot of little fender benders when I first got my license.
Yeah.
A lot. I probably rear-ended 3 to 4 people my first 3 years of driving.
Yeah, I know.
You were in the car for a few of them. Yeah, one of them we might have been smooching.
At a stoplight. But I also think all the new rules, like in California, like he can't drive with friends for a year.
That's true. That is true. My
friend Laura was joking, like, on her 16th birthday, she drove all her friends downtown, downtown San Diego.
Yeah.
And, they didn't even have phones.
Right.
So as far as safety and all that goes,
I remember
times have changed.
I remember one time I would have been like 16, maybe 17, but I'm pretty sure 16. And I was going to go drive my buddy Ryan Diener to downtown Seattle. Maybe he was a little older. And I remember telling the dad, he's like, and I lived in Federal Way, right? So we were like 30, 40 minutes south.
Yeah.
It's freeway the whole way. And then you get downtown and it's all hills and it's busy. And he's looked at me, he's like, you're going to downtown Seattle? And I go, yeah. And he goes like, well, what exit are you taking?
Yes.
And I go, Seneca, because it was the only one I could remember.
Yes.
I was like, I've heard
I
Seneca
was thinking
said
Mercer.
before. Yeah. I go, Seneca. And it goes, oh, okay, that'll be busy. And he just was kind of like feeling me out. And then hindsight, I was like, I would never. We live much closer to downtown San Diego. I'm like, maybe when you're 18, you can drive downtown. That's so far. But then again, I guess downtown's not that stressful of a drive.
Well,
but
I know.
It's crazy to think about being that young. Whenever I'm driving to pick Joel up from school, I am like, eyes up. Like, I mean, I always eyes up, but you know what I mean? I was like, these are high school drivers. You are so bad at this skill.
I know.
You are so bad at this skill. And the phone has never been more distracting.
They're babies.
The phone is the issue. Yes, the friends and stuff like that. The phone is the issue. The phone being in the car with them.
Yeah.
There should be a way for high school drivers to be like your car will not start if your phone is in there. I
think there's some apps that through Apple you can set your phone to not work when you're driving.
Oh,
that?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They do have that.
Mm-hmm.
But can I do that? Because I don't want to have to rely on a 16-year-old to make that choice to show that kind of safety.
You can.
I want the phone.
But Dustin, I think the main thing is to model not being on your phone while driving.
Blah. I'm very good at texting and driving, and I have massive control issues, so I'm going to cue up the song. Thank you. Not an option. But what we should do is we should create a thing with Joel of like, hey, this is a baby that needs to be strapped into a car seat in the back.
Like a little phone car seat?
A little phone car seat?
Yeah.
For the little baby phone. That way to ensure. And then they have that with people who have multiple DUIs, I think, with the breathalyzer. Like you have to blow into the thing for your car to turn on. And we need some version of that with the phone.
Well, I think that's going to be his sisters. They're going to be rule followers.
On those laws, can you...
To him.
You can drive siblings around? I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. So we'll see.
But you are a little stressed, but mostly you're just relieved. You're like, that's at least... Well, it's going to be a
ton of money. A ton of money.
Right. Don't tell me that because now I'll get stressed.
Yeah, monthly for Joel to be able to drive in California.
I remember hearing about that. Insurance rates. I'm paying for insurance. It's a thing that like people love to tell you when you're getting your license. Oh, my insurance is going up through the roof.
But the good news is...
I don't even know what that is. I still barely know what it is.
Nate Bargatze's joke about property taxes. Yeah.
It's a new joke. Can't release that yet, Mel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was on the album. I really did.
Album.
It was not out yet.
Album. You put it on vinyl?
His new special is not out yet.
You put it on vinyl?
I thought it was out. I'm recording Nate Bargatze's album.
You guys didn't know that Melissa produced and directed, actually, Nate's newest album.
Okay. Where were we? Something about driving.
Well, here's the thing. At the minimum, it takes 2 trips out of your day. At the minimum.
Oh, that's what I was going to say is luckily... he can walk to high school.
Right.
We're that close. There's a lot of freedom there.
Yeah.
So, or what I mean is it's not going to be expensive gas-wise.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's just too early to tell. There's so many variables.
It is. It's too early to tell.
We're going to take it one day at a time.
Let's just get through Christmas. Let's just get through the holidays. We know the holidays are near because, the decorations are out.
Yeah.
And the antibiotics are in. We have a child with an ear infection.
Yeah, a really bad one.
Yeah, you told me I manifested it with that joke.
Yes.
That I said it's not truly the holidays till at least one kid's on antibiotics. At that point, we just had a sick kid, but I don't know the exact stats, but I am pretty sure roughly every person in America is sick right now. Every single person, without exception, is currently ill.
Yeah, and some like really bad and then some just like mild.
And none of them are shutting down their lives in any way whatsoever. People are just out and about, coughing, puking.
You would know.
Rubbing their infected ears on water fountains. People are so sick and just out and about and spreading it right now. If you walk into a Ross Dress for Less, you are acquiring 4 to 5 discounted t-shirts and 6 to 7 full price sicknesses.
It's so true.
Everybody is so sick right now.
I had to go to the pediatrician last week and the urgent care line was out the door. And same with the pharmacy.
Well, it's like you said too.
It's
You're
really
like, can we do this over the phone? Because if I take my kid to the hospital, there will be a new sickness they acquire. If I go to the doctor's office.
It's bad.
I wish we could bring back shame in coughing in public. I really... There was a moment there where
it was unacceptable.
It was absolutely unacceptable.
To sneeze or cough.
And now people are treating coughs like greetings. Hey, can you hold the elevator?
I sneezed in the pharmacy line with a mask on.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no. But
recently?
Yes,
you
last week.
Oh, you brought out a mask?
You have to wear
in
masks
the pharmacy line. At Kaiser.
At Kaiser, which is it's a hospital pharmacy thing.
No, it was a great time in history where people were mindful of spreading germs. And then we got so tired of that.
We decided to spread them all again. We went too far.
We swung too far.
And now we are just going the whole other way.
I am not asking you to wear a mask all the time. I'm not that guy. I would just love if you would be mindful before you rubbed your infected ear on a water fountain.
I don't think that's how your infections are spread.
That's all. I'm not asking you to wear a mask. Again, I'm not that guy. I would just like you to be slightly more considerate before you cough in my child's face.
Right.
That's all. That's all. Just a little.
Children are not considerate with germs whatsoever.
I'm not asking you to wear a mask. I'm just saying when we are standing in a line, I would love to not feel your cough on my neck. I'm not asking you to wear a mask. Could you cough into your sleeve? Could you do that?
Yeah.
People are treating coughs like they're announcements, like they're at a protest or a rally or a celebration. Like people are coughing right now like they're cheersing at weddings. Ding, 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 ding. That's how couples at weddings now, they're not even kissing the bride. They're coughing on the bride. That's how everyone, the cough.
What has this come to?
Can we swing back a little bit? That's all I'm asking. Just a little less coughing in public. A sneeze, just put it in the sleeve. Man,
I know. I was like, I'm not sneezing in the mask.
Yeah.
That would be disgusting.
All I would like to see out of you in public. This is all I would like to see out of you. That's it. Is that too much?
It's not too much.
I don't think that's too much to ask. I don't want hands. I don't want that. That's gross too. Because you have no intention of cleaning that up. Like, that's all. Just into the...
Dustin, how's it been out there? How's it been out there in the sky?
Gross. Yeah. Everyone's so gross. Listen, I know everybody's sick, but... And I've coughed and sneezed on planes, and I'll cough and sneeze on a plane again. I'm not asking you not even to fly. Fly, live your life. Whatever, Just I want a little more shame in the cough. A little more shame.
Like, bring some cough drops.
Yeah.
And a water bottle.
People's mindset now, they're out and about. They're like, oh, man, if I cough into my sleeve, that means I'm a liberal.
Do you think that's it?
I can't let them know that I'm weak. If they see me coughing into my sleeve, they're going to know that I voted for Biden.
Cough with freedom.
I'm free to cough like this. America.
You know what gets me is like the really loud sinus stuff.
Yes.
I'm like
the planes, trains, and automobile scene, right?
Yeah, but like people do that in lines.
Yes, 100%.
Like baggage claim lines, or just like lines, and you're like, just get some of that sinus medicine.
Yeah.
It's so that is the worst to me.
Oh, it's awful.
Worse than coughs is that sinus stuff.
I don't want us to bring back...
Take care of it.
Exactly. It's very take careable. I don't want us to bring back being scared to be sick. I want us to bring back being ashamed to be sick in public.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Not ashamed. I want us to bring back a little shame. A little like, that's all. That's all. I just want to bring back a little bit like, I just coughed and sneezed really loudly. Somebody looked at me, as opposed to people announcing it. Come and get some. Yeah. Dinner's on. Achoo! All right. So
it's tough. It's tough out there.
It's tough out there. Weekend recaps real quick. So
where are we at?
We're off the rails right here. This last weekend, I was in Orlando, Disney, and I messed it up. SeaWorld and Disney and Putt-Putt. That's from Book of Mormon. I've never seen that. If you're offended by that show, I've never seen it. Huh?
Yeah.
I was in Florida this last weekend with Taylor. It was lovely. This is the time of year where Florida is objectively nicer than San Diego because it doesn't get cold at night. It's very pleasant. It's very nice. It's warmer. You know, they're tropical. We're desert. So
we're sub.
We did shows in Orlando. We went to Universal Studios one of the days. It was fine. It was nice. It's a theme park. It's great. We did shows at Taylor, her shows
Hard
there
Rock,
at the
right?
Hard Rock, which is like in Universal City. We were like in.
That's fun.
Yeah, we're just in it. Like, you know, that area, like the one in Hollywood, they have like, you know, like where the donuts and stuff.
ESPN restaurant.
It's all right there. Oh,
yeah,
NBC, Melissa. Disney owns ESPN.
That's at Disney.
It's all right there.
And Voodoo Donuts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's all the same places.
Family-friendly chains.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Hard Rock Cafe with a venue. That's
cool.
where our show was. So we were like in a theme park. And then we went to Fort Myers the next day. It was great. Really what it was like, I have 2 red eyes on the books right now. 3? I think there's 3 actually.
Well, your first was last week?
My first was last week. My second is next week.
Your second is next week.
I think there might be another one coming down the bend.
I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember either. But I haven't booked it yet. Once I book it, I know. But you know, we like these. Sometimes when you're going to these cities like Indy that are like hard to get to, or Orlando, which is very far away, you just have to get there a day early or take the red eye. And on the nights, if there's nothing going on, I'll leave at 2, 3, 4 p.m., something like that, and then just get there at like 11. But Gloria had a performance.
It was concert week.
It was concert week.
3 concerts.
So there was one that I could go to because it's the same concert. I didn't skip anything, everybody. I made the concert. I went to the concert, and then we went and got some yogurt. Some froyo.
With some choir friends.
Yep. And Gloria saw her friends, and we all got cold, and so me and Joel and Claire went in the car, and Mel got chatty with the mom, as Mel does. And we just stayed in my car.
That's Claire calls it mom's social hour. Yeah.
And I've just kind of let the kids know, like, hey, this is part of it. All right, mom's an extrovert.
This is mom's networking time.
Mom.
Just get all the ins and outs.
Mom gets life from this. It feels good to her.
I learn a lot. This is how moms create their villages.
Yeah, well, you guys are beneficiaries of this little village network here. Your various rides and sleepovers and, like
all the stuff you have to acquire for children.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're helping each other out.
We don't own a stand-up paddleboard, but we might as well because we have some people in our network that do.
Exactly.
So, Mom, you guys did that. The show was great. The show was very good. The show was great.
I think they had about 4 songs that they performed. 4 songs. Yep.
It's good. Gloria was furious she didn't get a solo.
Yes. It's a 7/8 tryout choir, 7th, 8th grade. And it is literally the Glee show.
Yes.
We are upset about choreo.
Yeah.
We are upset about
song choice.
Absolutely. What are we going to do at the spring concert?
Yeah, it's so
solo
funny.
selection, huge amount of drama.
Yes.
And they're all like really pretty supportive to each other.
Right.
But 7th and 8th grade girls are so mean.
Yeah, they're meanest humans that have ever lived.
So the fact that they can work it out and pull it off, put on a great show is quite impressive.
No teenager in history knows how to like put themselves in somebody else's shoes. And now as an adult, I look in, I'm like, oh, this job is so hard for the teacher. This is such a hard job.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it's, that's kind of the beautiful thing about choir or band is that like it has a place at almost every middle school.
Right.
Or high school, which is one of those rites of passage.
I think about that all the time. I think about like, not all the time. Periodically, I remember like when I was in high school, I was in jazz band. And we went to like Disneyland one year. Yeah. And we went to San Francisco another year and we had like Alcatraz. We went to Alcatraz. And as a kid, you're just like, cool. And you're like, somebody planned all that.
Yeah.
Somebody took 40 high schoolers to San Francisco. And you just
it's a miracle.
It is because you just get off the plane and you're like, oh, here's the charter bus. And then you go get on a charter bus or whatever. We were at a poor school too.
And I never did. I went to the Capitol in Washington State. I was in ASB. I was in choir. We never traveled. The band traveled to Canada.
Cool. Yeah.
The band went to Canada. Our ASB did nothing.
The band
we didn't even go to Wild Waves.
No. Well,
nothing.
You didn't miss out.
Yeah.
It would have been cold.
I know.
Band that is like the perk of band is like the friend social circle, and there's usually a trip of some type, you know. And again,
most of my friends were in band,
right?
Because they were like the smart, high achieving kids.
Yeah,
but I was not. I can't do band.
No, it's I just barely figured out kind of one instrument, and they needed a bass player, and I was like, great.
Yeah.
I'd love to go on this trip. And I'm playing like, people are like, oh, you're in band? And you're like, that's not very cool. And then you're like, you're in jazz band. That's like a little cooler. And then you're like, you play bass in jazz band? You're like, well, okay, I'll give you that.
You found a loophole.
Yeah, I did find a loophole.
The percussion
wing. The rhythm section.
Yeah. Whatever.
No, you're right. Like, it is a varying, I will say that playing bass guitar or stand-up bass in jazz band or being the drummer or the guitar player, because that was our rhythm section. Us three were kind of like, oh, well, I guess you can kind of pull it off. You can be kind of not uncool in band. That's what it is.
That's true.
You're not
Whereas
uncool.
Like drama's
its own thing, man. Drama is... I never interacted with the drama kids. I couldn't even tell you... I don't know anything about our school's drama program, honestly. I don't even know if we had one in my high school.
I'm sure you did.
I'm sure we did.
I think it's... Especially in Southern California, like some of those kids actually get acting jobs in LA.
That's true. Yeah. There's probably some good shows.
I still do think it's kind of like band where you're like nerd.
Yeah. I think some of that's gone away, though.
I agree with you.
I think
especially with like TikTok and stuff. Everyone's like, find your voice.
Yeah. I think that based on what I can tell from teens these days and what we're watching in our two kids, like bullying is gone. Or at least the versions of
tolerance of bullying at school. I mean, I think it can still happen online, you know?
Of course,
group texts and social media.
So, like text stuff, absolutely.
But I do think we've come a long way.
Listen, I'm not going to do my bit. That's the opening bit in my upcoming special right now. Cyberbullying is real. We're not downplaying that in any way. But it has changed a lot.
It's changed quite a bit.
Now, granted, once again, we are in Southern California. We go to an art school. We get... Like, you know, oh, did you know, I looked this up earlier, Joel and Gloria are both Gen Z, but Claire is the next one, which this is my joke. She is, it's Gen Alpha.
Oh, they named it already?
They named it already.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and that makes sense because my kids do feel too young to be Gen Z. Or like they feel different than Gen Z.
Wait, what do you mean?
Gloria and Joel, maybe Joel a little Gen Z, but it's hard to tell because he's a 15-year-old boy, which means he has the mindset of a middle-aged, like an old man. Grandpa and Joel see the world the same way, but like they feel detached from Gen Z to me. Gen Z feels like the young 20-somethings to me, and my kids feel different. Maybe they're still forming, they're still kids, but like Claire will be a different thing. Also, our kids kind of roll their eyes at some of the Gen Z stuff, like some of the kids in high school do, because you don't like the stuff that's like I was talking to Gloria, like some of the kids at her school like Taylor Swift, but some of them don't, because we liked Taylor Swift. Like our generation was into Taylor Swift.
Harry Potter, like they're that's kind of a Gen Z thing, and it's like how we didn't have scooters.
Right.
We did not grow up riding scooters.
And Claire doesn't know how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
No. And
I know.
And we get rid of the bikes and nobody said anything. Did they even notice?
No.
Yeah. Guys, let me tell you about Munchie Mug.
We're off the rails.
We're off the rails today. We've gotten to none of the things we said we were going to do. But you know what? You know this podcast is like this. And you know what we are being right now? A funny podcast about family. We have delivered on the original promise, which is to talk about funny family type things.
That's right.
You guys, if you're not familiar with Munchie Mug is the best spill-proof cup on the market. If you got something in your life that you don't want spilled, beans.
Spill the tea.
Spill the tea.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Puffs.
Reese's Puffs. Some Reese's peanut butter cups that you chopped up so you can put them in some ice cream. Whatever it may be. You know, you guys know about messes. Popcorn. Popcorn's such a big one.
Popcorn.
Little various gummies. Pirate's Booty.
Pirate Booty.
Yeah. You're going to want to get this Munchie Mug in your life, everybody, because Munchie Mug is the best spill-proof cup on the market, and it's totally dishwasher safe, variety of colors, made right here in the U.S. And if you go to munchiemug.com and use promo code DON'TMAKEME, that's all one word, Don't Make Me, no apostrophe, Don't Make Me, you're going to get 25% off your entire order. Munchiemug.com, use promo code Don't Make Me for 25% off that entire order. Munchie Mug.
Making your life less messy.
Mel, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Why do you keep ruining Christmas traditions in our family?
Who, me?
You.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh,
you keep doing things.
This is because I watched 20 minutes of a movie.
You keep doing things that we have always done together as a family without me. And I'm home more now than I've been in 5 years. So there's not like there isn't availability.
Okay.
You bought tickets to see Black Panther. You knew I would want to go do that. All right. You bought the Christmas PJs without me. You guys knew I wanted to watch Nightmare Before Christmas together as a family. You watched it without me. Then this last weekend, you started watching part of Christmas Vacation without me. Why are you cutting me out of this family?
It's just because I wanted to sit down for like 30 minutes because I was working on all this DMV stuff for Joel on like a Friday or Saturday night. And everyone was kind of around, but they had their own devices, you know, that they were watching. And so I put it on and I watched like 20 minutes of it, and everyone kind of watched a little bit of it with me.
Right. And now they don't want to.
No, that just like whet my appetite. I want to watch the whole movie.
Yeah, nice rebrand there, Melissa.
But
you were cutting me out of this family. This is the story.
Some of these traditions happen on the weekends in downtime.
We've always done these things together.
But I feel like
the Christmas PJs was the first one. That was one I was very involved with.
The 20th. Nightmare Before Christmas.
This is the December calendar. Look here. Look how much I'm home. Look how much I'm home this month.
Okay, so we got to put it in.
I'm home 75% of the days this month.
But here's the thing.
I don't have to calendar that I want to keep a Christmas tradition alive. I just need you to be a little more mindful of like, oh, Dustin likes when we all watch this together. Maybe I can watch any other movie.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Let me enjoy it together with you. I'm an empath, baby. Let's enjoy this thing together. That's what it is you don't need me for it.
No, I was trying to do something relaxing.
Put on Elf. Put on anything that you have a loose association with.
Okay, not the best.
Not the one we always watch together. I introduced you to that movie.
No, I watched it.
With me.
No.
You did not know who Chevy Chase was until I introduced you to Community, I'm pretty sure. And then a few years back, we watched that movie. And then we watched Summer Vacation.
I watched it on my phone while Claire was watching Paw Patrol.
Because of me.
I do believe we've watched this together before.
This is the story.
And you're right.
This is the story in the book about you throwing the dinosaur away, by the way. You are so quick to move off sentiment.
It's hard. It's hard to know what...
What's hard?
It's hard to know what thing is like the holy grail. Like everyone must do it together. Because the PJs thing was just, I would buy it the day after Christmas online.
Right.
Or... on Thanksgiving, and it'd be like half off.
You know I liked being involved in that, though.
I know.
You know I
did. But then I used to let the kids go pick them out at the store. But now they're old; they don't care.
So what are you gonna do this year for Father's Day without me? What are you gonna?
What do you expect us to do on Father's Day?
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do on my birthday without me this year? What thing that I like to do for my birthday are you guys gonna just do without me? You are cutting me out of this family, Nickerson. All right? You
travel every weekend.
Could you just go cut me out of some of these family photos? How about that?
Well, you know what, Dustin? You missed a big one.
What did I miss?
Christmas in the Village in La Mesa.
That one I was very sad to miss, and that's a new one. That's a new...
Well, we actually used to do it when the kids were really little, when we first moved here.
Right, because I didn't work weekends then.
Yeah.
I remember going to Christmas in the Village maybe twice.
Yeah.
And we have this little kind of downtown area near us, and our daughter was performing there. And I mean, you take the story from here because I wasn't there.
Well, so we're like I said, we're kind of new to it with all the COVID and everything ending. But downtown La Mesa does a 2-day Oktoberfest. in October, and then they do one night of Christmas in the Village, and it's pretty much just like everyone goes to those local restaurants.
Right.
And I think the streets close. The streets close, and they've got vendors and rides and stuff.
So this is just the Christmas version. They got some lights, we got some vendors, we got some bouncy houses, we got a stage.
Yeah,
you know,
and then
did they have the parade that we were the head of one year?
They don't have the parade anymore.
The parade's over.
The parade's over. Essentially, if you have like teens and tweens, they just go with their friends and they feel very mature.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
To roam, 2 blocks unsupervised. But
yeah, that's
also a lot of eyes.
Yeah, that's what Gloria kind of told me. She's like, I can't believe I was away from mom for that long.
Yeah, she was texting me the whole night. Like, we're going to City Tacos. And, oh, wait, no, we're going to sushi. No, we got Froyo.
Right.
So it's very mature.
Yeah, you guys went to all my favorite restaurants without me. And just
You love Por Favor.
Oh, gosh. Por Favor might be the worst Mexican food in San Diego.
They have tables outside.
Por Favor does remind...
Lots of open tables.
Por Favor reminds me so much of Azteca. These are references that not a lot of people are going to get.
It's just going to be like your generic Mexican food restaurant.
I guess look at the enchiladas. It's just your standard sit-down...
beans, rice, tortilla thing.
I bet if we went back to Federal Way or in Seattle area and went to an Azteca, I bet we couldn't finish the meal.
I think we would cry.
Yeah.
We've just been spoiled. Yeah. It's like you can't get chicken teriyaki in our area of San Diego.
Somebody challenged, okay, we didn't do this weekend recap. That being said, we were in LA a couple weekends ago and we were looking for some food before I had spots at the store and the Improv.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, how about some sushi? That looks good. And because the area we were staying, we were in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, okay.
Where we were staying, we were like, there's a bunch of nice restaurants here. And we kind of started walking. I was like, this one looks good. And then we saw the sushi place and we sat down and we were thinking sushi. And I was like, hey, so they have like a teriyaki salmon. Let's give that a try.
It was so good.
It was so good.
It was so
when
good.
you haven't had good teriyaki in a while, you're like, oh my gosh.
I'll be honest.
This is the best food in the world.
I am not a foodie. I don't care about food, like fancy food. We've had like 4 meals in LA, like dinners. Yeah. That have been incredible.
Right.
And I guess if that's your thing, I can get it.
If you're if you're in a New York, Chicago, Boston, LA, big major city, like you're gonna have tons of good food options. I totally get it. Even San Diego has a ton of good food options. If we have like Seattle had incredible food.
But if we have a couple hours, we're not like make a reservation.
No, we're not like foodies.
We want to bounce around.
Well, I don't like eating out that much. I don't like the experience of it. I get bored.
It's lost on us.
It's but one of the nice things that's great about Japanese and sushi in particular is you get stuff right away. That's what I want. I'm like,
actually, it was really quick.
You get the miso soup so fast. You're like, oh, hello, boom, this
miso
is what
soup,
I want.
Salad,
beer,
share a meal,
boom,
get out
of there. 35 minutes tops. Now we're at the Comedy Store. It was great. I get it if it's your thing. It's just not our thing.
Yeah, it's not.
But that was a fun weekend. It was like one night because I was like, all right, I have to remind Hollywood that I exist. Let's put in some availabilities. And I did the store and then we did the Improv, which were both super fun. You get to see Mark Maron for the first time, which was great.
I feel like I've seen so many photos that you take of him in green rooms and stuff. And I'm like,
not in that creepy way.
No,
just so
just
you're
like,
I'll be like, hey, Maron's here. And you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
Well, Maron's one of those guys. And backseaters, you guys will get this with Mel and I if you regularly listen to this or any other podcast. When you regularly listen to a podcast, you get pretty connected to a person and you feel like you know them much better than they know you, certainly. There'll be people like that you've never even met. And that's kind of the case with Maron. And then plus you really liked his IFC show as well. And then Glow.
Yeah. I have like 2 of his shows, like his TV shows and his podcast. I think he's really great at interviewing, and
he built comedy podcast. He's the godfather of comedy podcast. And Mark Maron is.
It was so fun to see him perform live because he presents exactly like he is in his podcast.
Right.
Exactly how he starts.
That first 10 minutes.
And opens his podcast is how he is on stage.
Yeah, it's great.
And he was insightful. It was very funny.
Very, very funny.
So that was like so special to get to see that. And the store is fun. It has like all these rooms and it's like a maze. and you're walking through it.
Store has 3 rooms, as the OR, the original room, the main room, and the belly room, which is kind of the upstairs hidden one. And it is a maze because we were up there and it got this kind of like bewildering green room that you'd never been in.
Yeah.
And then I took a different stage and then we are way down and you're like, oh, we're in the bar area all of a sudden.
Or we went through the kitchen. I think I love that about being a comedy spouse is seeing, I mean, I love green rooms and I love like seeing the ins and outs of it.
The bones.
And the energy. Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah. Well,
not always, but it can be very fun. And that was like a really fun night.
Particularly in Hollywood, that you're just like, and at the Comedy Store and the Improv, I think in particular, because there's multiple rooms, there's a lot of stuff happening, there's people kind of coming and going. You recognize a lot of people. Yeah. Everyone who's there is good. Like the shows are full.
Yeah.
You just kind of never know what's going to happen.
Well, and it's like those rooms are the perfect setups for comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
But then your therapist said we shouldn't count those as resting for you. Because that's not vacation, right?
Yeah.
That's a work vacation.
What are you doing for you?
What are you doing for you? You're like, well, I go on these trips. And she said,
those are work trips.
And I'm like, what does this person know? I mean, they are right. They are right.
So then we went to
the Improv, the Hollywood Improv.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's 2 rooms there, but I've only been in the main room.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one's the lab, and it's okay. It's fine. The main room's great, though. Main room is my favorite stage. Might be my very favorite stage to be on. You don't like when I'm there because I lean on the piano, and you're like, get off the piano. Did we talk about this already? This feels familiar.
I am okay with the piano lean. It's the sitting in a stool.
Yeah. I think. Which is so funny that you like Marin, because Marin sits in the stool. He is the king of sitting
with it.
He does.
He gets that.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm a hypocrite because I let Marin sit on a stool, but I don't like stool sitting for comedy.
I understand. You like some presentation up there.
Yeah, I think it's like the art director in me is like, no, get off that stool.
Yeah.
Get up and perform.
I understand.
We got to see Trevor Wallace.
Our son's favorite comedian.
Which, I mean, he's all over the internet. And
Trevor Wallace is an enormous internet star, and we kind
of found him 4-ish years ago when he started to pop like.
Well, it was when I was on tour with John, and like Krista and I would be like, "Hey, have you seen this guy?" And he had like 40,000 followers at the time.
Yeah,
and he's so funny, and he's really just popped, and it was good to see Trevor.
And he was so nice.
Yeah, Trevor's a nice guy.
Yeah, really chill, and he used to work a lot with Kev on Stage, which is fun. It's just a fun little.
It was a nice little Hollywood night.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little Hollywood night, and then we went back to that hotel that we like and had their good breakfast in the morning that we also liked.
Mm-hmm.
A non-COVID breakfast.
Yeah, so that was the Friday after Thanksgiving. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was great.
Yeah, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Another one coming up. All right, let's do a couple of emails and then get out of here.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. This one says car people.
We're just going to table all those things we said we were going to talk about.
Yeah. Well,
next time.
Maybe we'll talk to them. Maybe we won't. Sometimes. Listen, there's plenty December days left.
That's right.
December days at Don't Make Me Come Back There. This is from Chris, subject car people. Thank you so much. This whole conversation about how dents don't matter is something I immediately made my wife listen to. We are on opposite ends of this. I'm on the our car has a dent, who cares end. She's wrong and thinks our car needs to look nice. I'm not sure for who. Maybe our small group at church. Anyways, it's an ongoing argument for us. So thank you for giving me a point on this one. Love you guys. This podcast is fantastic. Chris, you're welcome, Chris. Listen,
this is the thing.
This is a hot debate with people.
Yep.
Chris, I don't know if you're gonna have your wife listen to this part, but if your wife wants that dent fixed, you got to fix the dent. I'm sorry. In order for a dent,
is it her car or your car?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But in order for a dent to stay, that has to be a unified front.
Yeah. Well, when I get rear-ended and it's free, I do get the dents fixed.
Right. And you're like, hey, can we just do the whole thing? Can we just touch up the whole vehicle?
Because it's like, we're going to have to remove the door and then buff it out and replace the door. You're like, oh, gosh. Yeah. And then like 5 coats of paint.
Yeah. But as soon as I hand off my car, or the one that I tend to drive, the sedan, to our son, that might as well be a demolition derby car. I could not care. I'm going to actually make it dirty on purpose for him. I'm going to, just for old time's sake, I'm going to get into his car and start eating food in his seats.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you don't like it? Oh, you gonna vacuum the car?
Or just leave the trash in the car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I left a banana peel in the back seat. Whoopsies. Only you had a munchie mug.
Just all his Halloween candy.
Right.
Wrappers everywhere.
All right. Last one. This is from Kaylee.
Hi,
Regarding
Kaylee.
loungewear is the subject. Hey, Dustin, Melissa. I've been tuning in from rural Illinois for about a year now. I started listening to the pod after my husband and I heard you open for Taylor Thomason in 2021. You guys have been the soundtrack for date nights, grocery runs, school pickups, and so much more. No, thanks.
Awesome.
The other week on the pod, you had a discussion about loungewear. Melissa mentioned things going really downhill after kid number 3. Well, that was the
DJ Cat.
DJ Cat, sure. Well, we are 9.5 years into marriage with our 4th baby turning 1 in February. And let me just say, yep. Our 3-year-old just walked up to me on Tuesday morning, literally right after listening to the loungewear segment, and asked if we were going to church. I confusedly answered with a no. He then proceeded to ask, then why do you have those clothes on? You know, jeans and a basic non-graphic tee. Really thankful for these tiny humans keeping us humble. Thanks for all the laughs over the last year. My husband and I are halfway through reading your book together. We've already had so many great laughs, coupled with really great conversations to follow. I can't hype it up enough, but I also feel like I should finish it before writing an official review. You know, do whatever you feel.
Do whatever. If it's positive, just go right ahead.
Yeah, just go right ahead.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That is exactly true. If I put on jeans, our children go, do you have a show tonight?
Yeah.
If I am in jeans, anything other than shorts or sweatpants or loungewear, whatever we're calling them, my children full on assume, oh, you must be going out. Where are you guys going? Huh? Oh, I'll doll up for date night. One of the great things about society, as society has progressed, is we have become so much more casual. Oh, I love it so much.
Yeah, that was the meme you posted about the Christmas movie.
Yeah. Gonzo all dressed up or whatever.
Yeah. Dickens. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, thanks for the email. We're happy to be a part of your life, everybody. And,
Have a good week.
Yeah. Take care, everybody.
All right. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening, everybody. Wanted to give a special shout out to our As Essential as Oils patrons. That's our $25 a month and up level patrons. Thank you so much for your support of the podcast in Dustin Nickerson comedy. That is Trey Turner, Nathan and Jennifer Merritt, Adam Bush, Jennifer Ashley Downs, Juliana Smith, Jordan Cowan, Code to Grow, Courtney Eibling, Lori Amos, Dave and Melissa Cox, Isaac Terron, Farrah Journey, Bonnie Galindo, Carrie Teague, Averill Griffiths, Jessica Sewell, Rachel Kennedy, Dave Hoagland, Demarius Diaz-Stevens, Nicole Carraz, and Tiffany Payne. Thank you so much, everybody.